Hello. It's normal golf. Regular old, mini golf, probably. It's like normal golf. Take a little golf club, get the golf ball, put in the golf hole. Golf. I don't know. I'm gonna aim for maybe around 2 hours. See where that gets me. Anyone else get the music ladder on the left, the rain ladder on the right? I hope you guys like golf. as scary. Okay. Play. It's golf. Give me a tutorial. Click the drag. You can also do left mouse, but okay. There's like no real timing involved. What is... Press Z to rewind. How to fly your scout? Oh. Are you playing mind golf? I don't know. Little hard, but okay. I completed tutorial 1! Yay! I don't know what the heck's going on. Golf, probably. I don't know about that. Am I playing the tutorial again? Yeah, I am playing the tutorial. No, don't make me play the tutorial again. Some sort of Gulf apocalypse happen? You can only have Gulf in your mind? I did part. What is this one? Oh, it shows me my score. The dog's legs. I don't know where the golf dogs are. Couldn't tell you. Getting some coin. My goodness. Whoa. Understandable. Gravity here is a little weird. I dare. I do dare. shots. So fun. Double bogey. Nice. There's some rough achievements in this. Here. Weird, that's what's in there. Weird. What an odd controls we have here. I'm gonna whack it. See where it go. Not give me that much info. Let's see where it goes if I hit this thing. Okay. Let's. I'm waiting for the story to happen, because I think I remember there was a story. Oh my god, what is this? Okay. Now I'm back here. Oh, that's... Sorry, dark hole? The backstory? Okay, here we go. Story. Let's play the tutorial story. Okay. can you buy things? Yes. I think you can buy clothes and maybe your putters. No, I already did that. Okay, let's play it out to see if this actually has anything to do with anything. Okay, there is a hole. However, the three-stroke hole, if you pot this hole, you can't stroke. Combine these in a course to achieve it. However, the number above the hole indicates how many strokes it takes before the hole. Over a hole when you're ready. Tip 2, when traveling short distances, you need a small amount of power or is a small hill. Try to do this straight on. Okay. Influence. Little bug on top of the ball. What that thing is. Enough to get over this hump, but not enough to, like, enough. Hey, you can freaking have the bug move forward. That's cool. How to change clubs. Oh, but does it change back to the putter after you... It does. That's a little rude. Where the fag resides also is a place for... Oh. I should probably buy a club to make sure that I have like a visual difference between the two.
Introducing Anti-Ann's Nano Adaptive Vinyl NAV Broadcast Disc. To activate the current audio sode within the designated NAV enabled courses, simply land your golf sphere upon the NAV broadcast disc and keep your mind muscle abreast with the most current info data from the high and lowlands of today.
I found story. I've done it.
Coins will be awarded to those being able to navigate between each NAV broadcast disc using the least amount of strokes. For each stroke you take, a coin will be taken from the potential tally. It may be necessary to locate the next NAV disc using your personal mechanical hummingbird before attempting a traversal. All NAV discs must be cleared in order to infiltrate the final golf sphere receptacle and ensure your progression to the next area. Remember, you can rewind your mistakes, so keep calm and carry on.
Okay. Nice. We got little golf.
And here is your update coming all the way from LAND London Audio News Dispatches. And the voice of our single and singular nation of two cities, your Auntie Anne.
all, a welcome to all. This is your Auntie Anne in another glorious sunny day, where we peek over the clouds to the horizon, ever glittering and golden. A winning lottery prize for so many of us, in a competition we didn't even know we'd bought tickets for. Yet as always, we must remember those we left behind down below.
Yeah.
I am honoured as always to be speaking to the high, and also those from the low visiting through the sigh marvel of psych sending to the illumilus e-fields of the vertiginous sphere for another round or thrice of vertiginous golf. Even another hour for us in the highland of New London is another 60 minutes to give thanks to our King Leopold the Great for saving us from a black death of ground pollution.
Yeah, man.
Yet, we must also look down to the lowland of Scudborough and close our eyes, send them well wishes, and promise that one day, when the skies and time rightly align, they will be with us to share the clean air and Avenir oxygen of our new world.
There will be a takeover from beneath.
The what? What about underneath tickling? What was that?
Let it not be consigned to info oblivion that we too were born bound to the neathland of our forefathers, strangling on its taut and tenuous umbilical cord until our good and great Edward V. Frohlich's discovery of the synchronicity cut those asphyxiating ties and allowed us to become sky high, floating yet stable, vertiginous yet safe. And because of wealth, we were to be the first to take flight, whilst the underneath world of our scud siblings stayed to try and challenge the polluted darkness. I believe, as your loyal, kindred kith and kin, who at all times gives you her all, both high and low land, a voice of hope and help, that I am here till the end of days, with an oath to shine a light upon Scudborough and bring them up to our air equivalents, pulling them away from the scourge of fog, smoke and soot that we chosen royals were so lucky to ascend away from only a year of yesterday, We have taken the high road, but we promise to Scudborough that there are other avenues to investigate. Over and out.
A man's pilgrimage in a life of 50 years will have its expected ups and downs, but mine are all self-invented in the most grotesquely literal ways. To see the classes of the high and the low, to know deep down in the pit of my stomach where that heaviness lies, breathes and feeds, to know that it is all my fault, well, to live with that truth is to not truly live.
Yeah, man.
We are in the middle. Where do you stand?
In the year of our lordships and ladies, 15 and 2000, I look back upon my life's work and wonder if my discovery of the QEC, quantum electrical current, now known to all as Frohlich's synticity, would have been better to have been left under the metaphorical rock that it hid, so to be found by another, and let they, whoever this imagined poor and wretched they is, carry the burden of what some have named this century's greatest find, yet others call the eighth deadly sin.
S. Wyatt. Yes. Oh. I need to... Oh, it still keeps my shots. Oh no. Oh no.
But whether I be scientific saint or sinner, quantum mechanical messiah or physicist martyr, the new city of London sits above the clouds upon the Vertiginous sphere for all to see, a sweet yet sour cursed blessing. And it is from below, within the lowland of the smog-sodden, scrappy suburbs of Scudborough, that sits ever so precariously, that the scrutiny to the self-proclaimed Highland is directed with the utmost jealousy, animosity, and more than a feeling of justified abandonment.
Oof.
Yet have we not forsaken them? Have we not allowed King Leopold to fatten the rich pigs and starve the lowly calves? I thought my invention, the Syndicator, would levitate us all to paradise, lighting up our world and enlightening our humanity in equal measure, and yet recent history spake otherwise.
Oh, it went over? Oh, it's not a thing that's...
The Highland casts an ever-imposing shadow over the lowland. So what can I do? Is it in my power to create change, bring us together again? Or is this cityscape schism irreparable? Does distance grow day by day? Is there any way to turn the clock back? Especially when masses will not listen to reason. Except from one voice that speaks for all.
You know, I tried to hit it later to not have that happen, and yet here we are.
This is the Audio News Network. I'm Tian, speaking to the Sundry and all of our two cities on a fine January morn.
You know...
Morning to the modernity of New London and the antiquity of Scudborough. Welcome once, twice, thrice and all. Since the introduction of vertiginous golf in the lowland, we have seen an evolution of their previously antediluvian state. Pale skin has grown ever rosy. The frailty of their failing bones have firmed and become vital. Their mind muscles strengthened as the psych link with their VG avatar grows exponentially with every use. Vertigolf is not just the only modern game for gentlefolk, but it is also the healthiest way to exercise body and mind into becoming one. With the use of virtual reality caddishacks situated upon the cobbled arcade of Scudborough that sends Scud psychs to the vertiginous sphere for play, there has never been a cheaper way for the hoi polloi to play the number one game of the Highland, Vertigolf. So get your place booked now, and remember, keep cool and caddy on.
and you hear the screaming from below.
No, surprisingly. We're a little too high up for that. Oh, symbolism!
Cheap to play, cheap indeed. A cheap pound of my flesh for a cheap pound and a penny. Or 2, or 3, or 4,000. But as my bank account grew in worth, my soul lost its very weight in gold. Not early, but only thrice years since my discovery of the quantum electrical current that I named synticity, as it powered, fed, and illuminated my syndicator machine to suspend the vertiginous sphere above the lowly. I realized my invention had desecrated my own rule of thumb. Neither a ruled or a ruler be.
There's the next one. Oh,
To try and right umpteen wrongs with at least one good turn, I pleaded with the king to allow the lowland of Scudborough to have an opportunity to play Vertigolf, another of my inventions. I saw it as a way to make amends, to draw even a small line between our continuously diverging cities. And King Leopold jumped far too quickly into this agreement, as he saw it as a way of taking the very last pound, penny and shilling of the lowlanders. Only my wife, Lady Adriana, stands by my side. Only she knows the dark and daunting thoughts that rattle around in my head. And even when she sees my flaws, she still stands there by my left, by my right, wherever she is needed.
rude!
For I am weak, a weak man, with yes, at times, great thoughts, ideas and inventions, but a weak man none the same. It will take somebody above my station to lead a revolution, to make a change, to stabilize what I have destabilized, to reconstruct what I have deconstructed, to put back together what I have pulled apart.
A good eve, a near night to all. And I have a special In Focus episode for you to wrap your ears and mind around, where we'll be looking at inventor, philosopher and Renaissance man, Sir Marcus Fredrickson. As many of you remember, when New London needed to rise away from the dangers of acidic fog and metal-eating gases, a friendly rivalry between the comrade-in-arms of Froelich and Fredrickson started a scientific revolution, and what was to be nicknamed the Great Race of Ascension. On one side, Sir Froelich and his syndicator, and on the other, Sir Fredrickson and his floatilator. As it is now signed, sealed and delivered into history as a fact that Froelich came through quicker. And not only did he win, but we all won, and enjoyed the succulent fruits of his labour, as after he rose to the challenge, we rose to safety.
Whoa. Whoa. I'll try that again, but like here? How strange. How odd. Okay, now what's going on here? Okay, I see it. I see which one I can now, like, visually distinct these two things. Good job, me.
But we must not forget the deeds of Fredrickson, who, it has been said, has finally broken through with the all-important challenge of making the floatilator not only work, but now is 10 times more powerful than Froelich's syndicator. Yes, you heard me correctly. 10 times greater. Surely a force to be reckoned with. This of course means that the proverbial phoenix from the ashes will finally rise as it has been meant to do in perpetuity. For it can only be a mere breath's whisker of time before Scudborough joins its city sibling, New London, and the lowland can know finally what it's like to be literally high on life.
I'm enjoying golf. I'm having a good time. I have very little idea
Morn
what's
to all, and
going
to all
on.
a good morn.
And it's like,
And that means another day, another round. To those in the vertiginous phase, vertigolf, whether they're from New London or our psych visiting Scud brothers and sisters from the lowland, why don't you stay just a little longer than norm? Especially when this is the only place the sun truly doth shine.
there's a lot going on here, and I'm not entirely sure, like, where my character stands in all this.
This is the Audio News Network, Antian speaking. I am here to qualm and calm the nation, as reports that the terrorist organisation known as the Middlemen has thrown more fuel on their lies of fire, so our great nation feels they are in some kind of confused conflict.
We interrupt your usual programming of propaganda, provocation, and pious lies.
Yo,
This is the voice of the people. I am the Shrike, and this is my song. And along with my brethren of middlemen, brothers and sisters, whose hopeful hearts beat together as one, I am here to speak out against this apartheid we live in, and the dictatorship we live under. To the troubled masses in Scudborough, I speak for our leader, the Kingfisher, a name that wants to bring about harmony and change in a world severed in two by the evil machinations of King Leopold. He has used and abused the wondrous discovery of syntheticity to rise above all, and sits in his petty self-serving kingdom to strike us with a repressive rain of thunder and lightning strike of power, to keep the masses of Scudborough mute and under rule of fear. He has ruled Scudborough with a fist of steel, whilst throwing from the other hand breadcrumbs of decay, like the psych use of the Vertigolf game, whilst he bathes in the blood of our friends in the lowland who have had their lives stolen from them through greed. We are the Fugels of Fear, birds who have flocked together, brethren who fight together, to create wings so the low can start a flight together. Not for tomorrow's apartheid, but for a future sewn back together. By peace and the chance of something new, born together by a pulled hewn. This may be the lay of the lowland, but at least we have our eyes open together. And no one said forever had to take this long, so let's stop. And stock up on opinions as we rearrange the lay of the land, so it is ready for change.
I don't. Anyway.
The middlemen's leader, the Kingfisher, flies above all prejudice and bigotry to bring colour back to a grey world. We of the middlemen demand that our two cities of Scudborough and New London are forged back together. This will be.
I repeat, if you have any knowledge of the identities of the middlemen, known as the Kingfisher, the Hummingbird, or the Shrike, it is your sworn duty to King Leopold and the sanctity of the two cities that you must be loyal to the Highland. Because remember, from high above we watch, for as it has been told, and will be told again, Auntie sees all, Auntie knows best.
Let's get a little deep. Let's get a little deep.
There had always been smog in the lowland. That was the first thought by King Leopold of an enterprising reason to use my synticity-propelled machine and leave the smoky city of Scudborough. However, I thought that we would all rise together. When it became obvious that only the wealthy, prosperous, and seemingly progressive would find a way into the Highland, above all the man-made catastrophe of industrial pollution, not so ironically created by those who now happily hover above it. Now, New London lays down only to see a dirt blanket of destitution, where not even one solitary light can pierce and shine through, showing to the gentry the moribund lives of the lost and never were. They have, we have, all but disowned. Only Vertigoth gives them a sense of release, freedom and individuality, as they send themselves here to the Vertiginous sphere for a few hours of escapism.
I don't know where to go. And I went up there and then it was like, no, not that way. I mean, not that way. Oh wait, no, that's the... Wait, no, where's the... Oh. Down? Oh, it's left and right click to go down. Okay. That's where I was supposed to go. Well, there goes my golf average. Oh no.
Today, their avatars have more of an understanding of art, literature, travel, sports, and living a fulfilling life than those Highlanders who control them. Whether it is through osmosis or simple repetition, I believe by psych-sending the Scuds will become educated and hopefully will gain new skills that open their mind to new possibilities. My one true hope is that what momentarily imprisons them will be what gives them the skills and confidence to escape their social chains and fly to a better state of being. My creation is tearing down society bit by bit. My creation is destroying me from the inside out. Change isn't needed, it's mandatory.
Yay!
Good morn, Orlanders, high and low. I apologise, but I have nothing but news abhorrent and regressive. We the above are in a state of emergency, shock and disbelief, as in the last hours reports are coming in that the murder of inventor Marcus Fredrickson played out in these early hours. Inventor Fredrickson was supposed to be a guest on this very programme today, to speak aloud of his invention, the floatilator, that would rival synticity as a cheap, renewable and environmentally sound way of keeping New London afloat. Rumours that Scudborough's problematic e-weather can be traced to quantum electricity discharged from Froelich Syndicator are still abound, even though they have been met with denial after denial. Therefore, Fredrickson's invention is sorely needed. But again, I can only emphasise, this is rumour-mongering at its most poisonous.
This much? Whoa, whoop.
Also been noted from the highest governmental offices in the Highland that the belief is that the middlemen are behind this nefarious yet cowardly act of cold-blooded murder. But we await an official statement from King Leopold at this time. However, in the meantime, we give you our regular programming of Auntie Explains It All.
Ooh.
I am the Shrike, hear my scream. We of the middlemen nobly lift our heads to the sky, and with mouths open wide and proud, we call out in protest, loud and shrill, so you hear it above all falsehoods and lies. We are not responsible for the heinous act of taking Fredrickson's life. We are but merely patsies in the secret war between high and low, rich and poor, capitalism and the proletariat. Newland, Doane and Scudborough. Make no mistake, this is the Highland versus the Lowland, and nothing more, nothing less. And they, upon the high, are painting over our good name with the blood of the fallen. We are here to stitch the cities back together, not to sever the continuously fraying ties that are left.
Wow.
Is nothing learnt from the history books? Do we read them like fiction? A source of entertainment where we desperately look for heroes and villains, hoping that the story is black and white and easy to follow. But no, real life is heavy with grey. Marcus Fredrickson was my friend, not rival, no enemy. Even that very morn of his passing, he brought with his invention, for it did not work and it had something missing. And even though he was a fine scientist, he could not put his finger on what refused to allow the machine to be. And as he was a gentleman, scholar and fine friend, I promised to help. But that is past, as is he. And I must look into the dark and dimly lit future. For is that not where we are heading, whether we like it or not?
No! God damn it. Oh, here we go.
For up above the nit and the grit, above the lies we put under a microscope and analyse relentlessly, we can see a bigger picture. A blanket of clouds can be seen as an off-white shield, a barrier between me and my real-world responsibilities. Or it can be a lazy place to lay my metaphysical head and let my thoughts wander to a simpler time. I met my wife in college, and from there we never parted. And even though she was more than happy to be married to a scientist locked in a lab daily, she's managed to be the other half, much better half. I have to admit, of a celebrity, how this happened, neither of us could foretell or retrospectively know. But sometimes you can raise your hopes too high and miss the finer details. And like a god with butterfingers, I have lost hold of my own personal path and I don't know what the next step is to be. But I must take one, come hell or high water. My work has become also encompassing. I feel handcuffed to the syndicator, like I'm chained to an animal with its own needs, and as it feeds upon its own notoriety, I feel undernourished. I wish my hardened morality and concrete confidence that saw me create a new form of society was still in me, for I do not see a way out. It is like I am in an unlit room with a one-sided mirror, and the whole of the Highland and Lowland are looking at me for what comes next. But I am here with the beast I created and it's feeding time. And for the moment, that is all that matters.
You are all slowly being transformed. Have you not wondered why your stomach churns in the morning and your eyes glow at dusk?
No. No, not really. I kinda always did that.
Today is a day of black and bitter darkness. The news I have for our two cities will disgust and bewilder in equal measure. But please do not go fearful into your day after I tell all that has transpired.
What? No. No. No.
At precisely 2300 hours, only yesternight, at what can only now be described as a bewitched hour, our good Lord Frolich, esteemed inventor and saintly scientist who reached for the clouds and placed the chosen ones graciously there, was seized and shanghaied from his stately home in New London. The middlemen are the miscreants guilty of this appalling act, and are asking for 1,000,000 coins or they will put out Frolich's flame, as they did with Fredrickson.
No, no, and vehemently no. We are not the protagonists to blame for this scandalous play of fakery and theatrics. We are innocent of kidnap, and we do not want change from pockets, but change in hearts. Must we bellow from the houses our innocence? Or shall we leave it to the hoity-toities to stick their boot heels upon the hoi polloi and grind them to mere dust, before it is proven how much they control your every move? Giving you thoughts that finish with decisions you would never have if you were left untouched by their crooked third eye.
Huh?
In our new audio-sode of Auntie Explains It All, we will be looking at the rising popularity of vertiginous golf, where it sprung from and how it came to be. When e-inventor and quantum electrical scientist Lord Frolich harnessed the power of quantum electricity, we became the first civilization in human history to master our destiny and take to the skies. New London, the Highland, was lifted away, and when we have the resources and power, Scudborough will follow. Our fellow Scud brothers and sisters have a bigger problem with which to contend: pollution. A mass of thick, black smog always had a chokehold on their fair city, and until we solve the problem with e-science, we cannot risk bringing them to us without the possibility of New London being contaminated. But they bide their time and taste daily what we have, and what will also sit in their lap one day. Using quantum sourcing, we create an AI psych formatted to the player that can be transported to vertiginous golf, and they can play their hearts out as if it were real. Once Vertigolf was an elite sport, but now even the lowly can.
Deceiver. If a truth were to try leave your lips, I think they would chap, crack, and fall like the dust upon crypt from your lying mouth. There are no intentions for the Highland to lift the Lowland and become a happy ever after family of the air. This is false propaganda to keep Scudborough forever in the hope of something that will never be, never become. To keep Scudborough on the very razor's edge of tomorrow, but never having the chance to hold their breath and be able to jump off the precipice into the new.
Fascinating. You know,
It is not a fallacy but fact that the dirt, dust and grime that lays upon the lowland like black ink oxygen is from Frolich's sin, the Syndicator, the eighth marvel of the world, yet the most deadly. It spits and vomits out poison so that New London can keep in the style of life they are accustomed to, and that is away from the pain and pressure of every day of what they have done to the lowland. Mark my words and mark them well. New London will become undone, for be ready forthwith, as the shrike will strike. Over, but not yet out, we leave you with our rhythmical thoughts of tech poetic, the real words of the disillusioned underclass, to a not so good and not so great nation. Lord of the Fog, you create a curtain. Where number one dare lift, so the low stay low, and the high get high, on their mile-high drift.
Amy. You've been.
Today is another day of the two lands in opposition. The Low continue to live up to their misnomer as they have begun to dismantle, ramshack and graffiti our finely tuned anshacks, where I, your gracious host, am mostly heard. In Scudborough, it is as if they are a law unto themselves. We of New London have given them so much, and they act like hounds, biting the master's hand that feeds.
What was that sound? 3. see.
Would it be a stab in your heart, or would you not flinch to the truth that Auntie Anne is not real? I sit here with her, no, it. Wires cut in two, cables tied tight, and plug forever dismantled. I may be a lady, but I am not ladylike. I know my way around a weapon, and I have severed the link between us and this dystopia with a swift flick of the wrist and a razor-sharp blade. Think of it as a nightmare we have finally awoken from. It is now voiceless, therefore purposeless, and can never tell us what is untrue again. Auntie Anne may not be real.
Yo, they murdered that robot, dude.
However, I am very real. I breathe, I bleed, I hope, I dream. I am the Kingfisher, leader of the middlemen. But that is not truly my reality. Like so many others, I have hidden beneath a cloud of disinformation and mystery. I am Lady Adriana Frolich. I am my husband's wife, Vigi and Centicity's father, Lord Frolich, and he is mine. So no, he is not in harm's way, and he is certainly not in our clutches, but instead our company, safely hidden from the clutches of King Leopold.
Yo, revolution? Yo.
Today is a day like no other, as it is a beginning, and beginnings only come once or twice in a lifetime. So mark down on the calendar now where you are, who you are with, and how you feel, so you can remember in secula seculorum, for all eternity, where you were when we saw the liberation of Scudborough. This is the liberation of the lowland. This is the ascension of Scudborough. Hold on to your hats, people, and look to the skies.
Really need to hit that.
But praise not yet. There is a spanner in the works, a rooster in the hen house, a cuckoo in the nest. My dear, poor patrons of Scudborough, heed my words. We cannot lift alone. We cannot carry the burden of the rise of the lowland alone. We, the middlemen, are in the highland, so all we can give is guidance, support, and, dare say, our love. But we cannot be there in body to achieve this, oh so important goal that has come to us. One or all, 2 or 20, whomever must find the sin engine hidden in the lowland and take to it, whether it be over or under, until the glitch that is holding back can be found and fixed. We need your help, your courage, your action, your support in true, concrete physicality. There is no time to sleep. Awaken, Scudborough, awaken from your slumber in the smog and turn to the sun and imagine what that will be. Scud brothers and Scud sisters, solve our crippling quandary, our puzzling predicament, our dark dilemma, and then, and only then, we can be as one. wishing you all luck. This is the voice of the Kingfisher. Over, and hopefully not for the last time. Out. Eyes wide, see the signs. My dear comrades in arms, look for somewhere out of bounds, hidden away, a place seemingly dangerous to the naked eye. A locked door, a barred window, a dark alleyway, and make that engine start. For with an overabundance of simplicity, but with none of the made-to-move parts in motion, overload is inevitable, and Scudborough's destruction will be a reality that cannot be regressed. I mean not to make you fearful of this urgency, but you must know what we are up against and how. Without the engine working, the odds are beginning to stack up against us. My Scudborough family, awaken, awaken, listen, look, and above all, think. Action must be taken. Do not crawl, stroll, or traipse. Now is not the time for a city to arrive. Run, run, run to a possible place you have heard rumors of where the Sin Engine resides. For I know there are tales abound about this mysterious invention, but they are far from being the fairy tales of old. It is truth tenfold. The engine is the final part of the jigsaw, and when greedily fed on synticity, it will power you to the skies. So, can you hear it? Open your ears as well as your mind, for the engine will be the beating heart of the city, and its power needs to be unleashed so the synticity can flow into the engine like a river into the sea. Where, my dearest citizens, you have had enough time in the dark, it's time to see the sun. So, where is it? Reason, deduce, then take action and find our final obstacle that is stopping you from joining your new brethren.
Guess I was supposed to be, Can I get... Optical illusion. Gotcha. Great. Oh.
What was before matters no more, swimming in the black of nothing. Infinity is stopped like a broken carriage clock, suddenly a white flash of something. Arise with tight eyes, begin to open wide, follow the red breast of the robin. Know what lies on the horizon is what next you can begin in, thanks to the brave red robin.
Birds! Might as well finish up the story.
Of all of those to rise to the challenge and bring us together, was it not there in my soul all along? The truth peering out, smiling, holding my hand, supporting my sweating brow to her chest. Was it not obvious that it would be someone as courageous as my wife? In my heart of hearts, was it not there to be seen by all? And now it is time for me to challenge my doubts, cut out my neuroses, and do what I was always destined to do, to take our two cities and finally find the middle ground. In remembrance of my dear and departed friend, Marcus Fredrickson, I fixed the glitch of his floatolator and used its power to back up the syndicator and give it a much needed boost, so we can come together at last. Fredrickson used to warn me, with that warm, melting smile of his, that life happens while you make other plans. How true that is. For all of my worrying about my discoveries, creations, and the impact it has on all our lives, the answer to the hideous problem of the underneath land was right under my nose all the time. Or should I say, hanging above my head. For an exciting and utterly unforeseen side effect of my syndicator and Fredrickson's floatolator being synced up and mechanized as one was the excess energy. By my lords and ladies, the sheer power of the machine. When I siphoned it into Scudborough to levitate its land, the fog and smog pushed away like a beautiful newborn baby. Scudborough emerged from under to up, and all the lights blinkered to life. And, I falsify not, but for the first time I could see people on the streets, celebrating, dancing, and singing full of joie de vivre. The lowland, no longer low, shone like a newfound star in the sky, a true and real blessing as I've seen one. And then Scudborough didn't so much rise, but soar, to meet its twin upon the clouds, together again, but yet with a strange, stirring feeling of pride that it was really for the first time.
So, for the people who just came in, hi, welcome. This is... There's a lot going on. There's so much going on. There seems to be some sort of, like revolution thing going on, and some class stuff going on. But not only that, like, it seems that
Friends and family of Scudborough, we are going home. Fellow siblings of New Londone, I know you would take us into your bosom. Don't be afraid, this is not an ending, this is a beginning. My dear departed father was a labourer in the cornfields outside Scudborough when such growth of life existed. He would always come home after a long, long day's work with bleeding hands, but with a smile on his face.
we're at the... We're at a weird spot right now when it comes to this game. Oh, there's another fan. I see.
And as he sat at the table for our meagre supper, I would ask in my childhood innocence why, when he bled so, was covered with dirt and was tired beyond reckoning. And he would look at me with his big blue but weary eyes. Because, sweetie, there were many people in the field today. And I, with childish tenacity, would remember my learnings from school and reply, "Ah, Pop, I see. Many hands make light work." And he'd say, "Oh no, nothing like that. It's just I never feel alone." Scudborough and New Londone, we are now and forever never alone. But I'm afraid the same cannot be said for King Leopold. After Parliament found out he had doctored the report on pollution output from high to lowland, he was sitting awaiting trial. But when news of his hand in the assassination of his sister Victoriana to throne himself, well, his escape was brilliantly executed. But even though justice hasn't been served, there is still hope surrounding and swelling.
Would kill him. Hope if his death, it would happen. You know? It could happen.
For today is for raising our eyes to the skies, not the past. Scudborough, can you hear the wind? Can you feel the rush of new air? Are you drinking in pure oxygen? Arise, arise, Scudborough, take hold of your destiny. This is not the time for fear or regret. Arise, arise, Scudborough. This is not the time for petty prejudice and retro resentments. Forgive New Landone and reach up to them. Follow their flow, using their very hearts and veins as maps to lead to future riches. Go to them as if they are your very own bloodline.
No, 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 no. What the fuck?
The lights are all on and everybody is finally home. Today I took a walk through the sparkling sights and sounds of our new land. There was celebrating, and I heard a chanting exultation that will be forever embedded in my mind. So much so it's beginning to push the darker, unwanted thoughts out. I heard a chorus of former Highlanders and ex-Lowlanders chanting together. Every woman, every man, welcome to the coming of the new Middle Lands. But where the King Deceiver, Leopold, has gone, we may never know. He's escaped answering to his crimes against our humanity, and his lies to keep the royal royal and the rich rich. But if there is a cosmic law or a universal justice, and even though I am not a cruel man at heart, I do hope he suffers for what he has done to us. Now, we rise to new challenges and begin to understand what new beginnings are truly made of. Do we not miss a voice in the darkness? For even though Auntie Anne was not real, she still spoke for the collective unconscious. Is this a role that is needed? Can somebody take the time to create something wholesome and good out of the identity? Yes, I think they can. And I know just the right person.
Formerly known as the Kingfisher, now I feel like a queen in waiting, for I am Aunt Adriana. No I or E here, no childish games or unnecessary pet names. I am for you all, for you do not serve me. No, I serve you. I am not here to tell you what you must be and what you must do. Those are choices you make for yourself, no matter how scary sometimes they can be. No, I am here to listen, just listen. Over, but most definitely not out. And as you sweep through the lush e-fields of Vertiginous, playing the true game of the people, the gentle folks' reminder of what is great and good about future tech. Remember, keep cool and carry on. And now for our daily update from
No middling and muddling ground. There is nothing good or fine about this morn, day, night, or week. I am only mere miles away from you. But am I above, below, to your left, or to your right? Or maybe I am all around at all times. Or maybe I am already here, in the middle of you all, watching, waiting. Listen up, for this is a message to heed and heed well. With my third eye, I have seen into the devils. I have seen the punchline to the great cosmic joke of it all. I have seen what is above, yes, even above the highland.
Twist. Apparently I've been hit. I'm not sure what... I don't know what's going on with that. Hello?
There is something up there. Something that has been watching your petty squabbling and pathetic Pyrrhic whines, and it is coming for you all. For are there not questions that have been on even the most foolish of lips? From where does synticity originally come? And who created it? The answer will amaze the mind and strike fear in the heart in equal measure. For my name was Leopold the Great, but now you can call me the Albatross. For when I return to act out my revenge, you will have that unmistakable sinking feeling. And when you least expect it, there is only one way you are going, and that, Middle Landers, is down. Over, but never, ever out.
Huh. That is perfectly on the 2-hour mark. Thank you all for watching this and its extremely bizarre story. A little unwieldy at times, but I think in general I had a pretty good time. It might be something neat to tackle to try to like do completion for this game, but like, yeah, golf. Alright, see everybody.